Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. What games stand out as underappreciated by the tabletop community? For me, the first one that comes to mind is Era of Tribes. This is a beautiful 4X game set initially in the Neolithic period, where you progress through the ages by expanding your tribe, utilising resources in the form of food and luxury goods, take on opponents in fierce combat or form diplomatic relationships, and improve your people through an intricate tech tree. I've already reviewed this game so long ago it actually feels like it was done in the Bronze Age, so why am I doing another video? Well, Era of Tribes is getting a second edition and its first expansion that comes to Gamefound early November, and I'm here to tell you all about it. But what does this mean for those who haven't played? Well, in this video I'm not going to do a full review. I've already done that and I'll put a link here. Okay, I'll put it in the description. Instead, I'll provide a basic overview of gameplay and then detail what the expansion Beliefs and Betrayals will bring in. What I will say is that Era of Tribes doesn't get enough airtime and I don't know why. Yes, it's heavy, complex, long. Wait, those are all good things. Anyway, most of the people that I talk to about this game say it's excellent, although there are a few naysayers that only think it's borderline great. But I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So, you now have two options. You can skip to the section of the video that details the expansion, or stay and see more of this. And this, of course. Welcome to those that want to see more of this. You made the right choice. So, the base game, what is it? Well, even before you get to play, the first thing you're going to do is have to eat your way through this monstrosity, which is difficult to digest as it contains 28 pages of pure text and ends up coming out with thorns. Ouch. Yep, regardless of what you think of the game, the rulebook is a hard read. As you start going over the paragraphs again and again, it slowly pieces together, but I recommend Rado's How to Play video hosted by Knights Around a Table. It's just brilliant. Trust me, the hardship of learning this is worth it. This is firstly a worker placement where you use your leaders to select actions to take territory, tax your people or trade goods, where you earn influence points for your troubles. Certain actions can be boosted with resources and others can only be taken if you look to advance up the 6 improvement tracks. These allow you to move further, construct cities and build fleets. The game can be played in a number of formats, from normal to epic, with 6 victory conditions that need to be met through earning influence, controlling land or conquering home provinces of other players. It's my favourite. There are a lot of rule exceptions and intricacies, so it's likely you will omit some during your first few plays, but ultimately this provides a very rewarding experience. You'll be playing on an oversized board making up Europe, North Africa and this beautiful little island, Great Britain. Also, we don't have our noisy neighbours to the west. They haven't been discovered yet. In fact, during setup you can use small barricades to wall off sections of the map based on player count, and even though there are standard layouts, you can do this in any way you see fit to create open exploratory regions or tight claustrophobic ones forcing more combat. My favourite. The map is littered with tokens representing luxury goods that can be claimed, barbarians to conquer, and of course player vassals that start on their home province. There are 10 tribes to select, each with their own player board, all with asymmetric abilities. The Norse have fast-moving fleets and can pillage and plunder. The Romans can improve some tech cheaply and have access to legions. Egyptian cities are easier to manage with resources, and the beautiful Britons literally know how to party that can boost morale and are super resourceful when it comes to fish and chips. This is the morale track that tracks morale and will increase or decrease based on your actions, and the tech tree has 6 improvements, all with varying costs and bonus abilities. We have a barbarian track used in battle and influence cards that are like game objectives. Lastly, this is the era track. Over time, your actions from previous rounds will push you into new eras, providing rewards for doing so. Your player board houses cities and vassals and includes areas where your leaders are placed to carry out their actions. It does look busy, but the iconography does lend support during play, and over time you become very familiar with it. During the game, you'll be placing your leaders on the various action spaces to carry out the action, where you can then double up meeples or throw in some luxury goods to boost the effect. Expansion lets you place 3 vassals on the map, and this is also dependent on how much food you have. Here you place own vassals in the province you control and can then move these to sea areas or around the map that could start battles or allow you to build cities. You can also form alliances with other players by sitting your vassals on their cities, creating trading posts and becoming the best of friends until you stab them in the back and take it all. Again, my favourite bit. Battle takes place on a sideboard where each player adds their troops that could be provided as loans from allies. Combat can include land or sea battles and basically involves rolling custom dice and taking hits where you could end up securing more land, cities and luxury goods. To tax your people and trade with the locals provides money. Taxes increase with the number of cities you've built, and this is the main way to gain moolah, but comes at a cost of the loss of morale. Well, nobody likes to pay the government. As you progress through the ages, you'll claim more leaders that allow you to take more actions or more powerful ones. However, with diplomacy, you can pinch one of the limited number of generic leaders as well as pay others to increase your influence, a cheeky way to get victory points. If you're feeling particularly frisky, you can swap leaders with another player for morale boosts, but face the consequences if you break this alliance. You'll need to pay to move up the 6 improvement tracks, and with each game your markers will finish at different levels depending on your playstyle and need. Mechanics and navigation move your fleets and armies further across the map, so if you're feisty and aggressive, like me, then this will help. Agriculture provides more food, trade allows you to boost that action, and culture increases morale. Lastly, architecture opens up avenues to build cities, but note that some game actions can only be available once you make your way up certain tracks. Also, you can't just spam one track to race to the top, you have to follow a sequence or pay stupid money for being careless. A lot of intricate detail goes into the actions where, as mentioned, some actions are unavailable until you climb the improvement track. For example, you can't build fleets without navigation, or they'll just sit on the shore. Or cities without architecture, they'll just fall down. So you must make use of improvements. Claiming land is a slow process, but provides luxury goods to boost future actions, and these resources can be reused on the next turn. Combat has a nice mechanic even though it involves dice. Other players can lend support, and you can enlist the militia and previously conquered barbarians that can even fight in your name. There are a lot of moving parts and it ties in nicely, but there are times when you have to make difficult decisions with regards to which actions to take or which to be boosted. Also, it just looks stunning on the table, especially at 6 player count, and I love the fact you can alter map design at setup to have huge variability in gameplay. Admittedly, I've glossed over the game as there's so much to cover, but I hope you've seen enough to know that it's deeply thematic with reliance on strategy. Now, let's take a look at the upcoming expansion. For those of you that have just jumped to this section, you missed a treat, but you are forgiven. With the campaign, the expansion, Beliefs and Betrayals as optional modules, but the second edition of the base game should clear up some rules and provides upgraded components, like dual-layered player boards. The religion module includes a sideboard for you to pick your deity, prophets that spread the word of God around the map, and sanctuaries that increase morale and defense values in combat. The other module is intelligence that adds some political intrigue with spies, agents and special operations, where you can include one or both modules during play. Note that this expansion is a prototype, so anything you see here may change from the final version. Let's take a look. The dual-layered player boards allow vassals, cities and food to sit neatly in place when compared to the previous versions, and I'm a sucker for these and think they'll look great. Within the religion module, the players get a communal extension to their player boards that can be activated with a leader meeple. There are 3 tracks, and on activation you can choose one track, either mysticism, monotheism or polytheism, and move your priest to the next level by paying the cost in thalers. However, once you reach level 2 of culture on the improvement track, there is no cost to increase religion. But one thing to note, as well as this being the cost to move up levels on the board, this also serves as the extra cost for improvements. Basically, science and religion don't go hand in hand. Each track provides unique bonuses. Mysticism provides an immediate boost to morale, as well as ongoing increases each round. Monotheism allows you to aggressively spread your culture by enlisting fanatics to your army and gaining treaty tokens. These fanatics take part in battle, and although they boost your strength, they must take their hits last and decrease morale if they survive. Polytheism provides various bonuses, but you don't lose the benefits if you move down the track as opposed to the other 2. Although not indicated here yet, if your priest reaches level 3, you get access to the prophet meeple, and these can move about the map during your turn. If used in battle, you always get the morale marker, and they can even be sacrificed to manipulate the dice. They can attempt to increase your religion level, as well as cause unrest within the opponent's provinces by placing burning torch markers. These reduce morale every round, as well as being able to indoctrinate barbarians, where these once savages become peaceful vassals for your tribe. If your prophet is removed from the map, you can also use them as a leader meeple for action selection, so they can be very powerful components. Reach religion level 5 and you gain influence, but at 8 you can build a sanctuary. There is a cost in money and luxury goods based on religion, but you gain bonuses for construction that include combat for adjacent regions in the form of militia. As with cities, you need to improve architecture to construct these. You can opt to move down one religion level to carry out special actions in addition to the main action listed on the bottom of the board. These can provide battle luck, allowing you to roll combat dice twice, provide extra growth and expansion, gain more free vassals, and provide bonuses to the special operations if using the intelligence module. Lastly, during a revolution you have options to switch religious tracks, but will lose levels and your sanctuary, or even become a free thinker to remove your priest, which has benefits for the improvement tree. The second optional module adds another sideboard for intelligence actions. I'm not sure I'm going to use these often. I'm joking, I'm well clever. Now, these actions can only be used once you and your target have reached the Bronze Age. Why? Well, it shows development of the people. The board shows your vigilance level and how many special operation cards you can have in hand, as well as 3 new action spaces for leaders, a recruit pool for agents and master spies, and icons for how to use them. First of the new actions is special operations, where you can carry out a number of these with just one leader, but each additional action has a cost. This allows you to play a card from hand, however you can discard more to strengthen the operation. This action is based on the sum value of 2d6, where the number of cards discarded by the aggressor reduces the required value, but the opponent can be a sneaky git and discard cards of their own to counter this, where their own vigilance also provides a negative modifier to the end result. A sum of 3 or less always fails, but a 4+ succeeds and provides the reward on the initial card played, and I'll go over these later. You also get the rewards for a high result and negative effects for doubles. So there's a little luck here. The second action is recruit, where you gain agents and spies to your pool. You can use these as positive or negative modifiers when carrying out future operations by sitting them in the relevant cities on the map, even owned by other players. Together, both spies and agents can modify your required value or an opponent's when carrying out special operation actions. The last action increases your vigilance level, as well as being able to rearrange how you've networked your agents around the board, and this is risky as some of them could end up back in your pool. The operation cards available have pretty cool rewards for succeeding. Turncoat is brilliant, that results in other players' armies defecting and moving to yours. Technology allows you to copy the improvements you don't yet have, and with Bribe you can use the opponent's leader to take actions on your player board. Unrest reduces the morale and places burning torch tokens, and together with Revolt you can claim their land. Robbery and Conversion mess around with religion and vigilance, and Counter Spy is a multi-choice action to remove agents and make it more difficult to attack you or have special operations played against you. There you go, a lot to take in, and it makes you go cross-eyed. These modules seem to add a whole new level to the base game, so for the final production it's looking like a mighty beefy game. So good job I'm not vegetarian. The campaign looks to start in Gamefound early November, and I'll put a link to the page in the description. I hope this video enabled you to get a good understanding for the base game and how the expansion will be integrated. And if you enjoyed the video, why not give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.